What is going on, Knicks fans? Welcome on into Knicks Media. My name is Richie, and we got a lot of things to talk about. The latest Knicks news, your big-time updates, because ever since the season ended for the Knicks, it just felt like we had no time to breathe as Knicks fans. We had no time to even settle into the offseason. Because even if you turn on the NBA coverage, they're talking about the Knicks at the NBA Finals more than they're talking about the Pacers being up 2-1 on the Thunder. I mean, the Knicks are the talk of the town right now, and it has a lot to do with Leon Rose firing Tom Thibodeau, looking for a brand new head coach. The Knicks are getting denied by every single head coach candidate that they're requesting permission to. Okay, now we have the latest updates of Kevin Durant. Is he coming to the Knicks, or is that not happening whatsoever? Giannis Antetokounmpo, is that dream still alive, or is that completely shut down? Are the coaches that the Knicks inquiring about, does that mean they're definitely impossible to hire a guy like Jason Kidd just because the Mavericks said no? There's a lot of things to break down in this show. Let's get straight into business. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the head coaching news, the latest updates, the coaches that the Knicks are most likely interested in bringing on in, okay? And I feel like if you're a Knicks fan right now, listen up, because what Leon Rose is doing right now is a wide net search. Now, right when Tom Thibodeau was fired, I had an assumption that, okay, maybe Leon Rose knows exactly who we're bringing in. Maybe he knows exactly the guy, but I don't think that's the case, right? I feel like I was hopeful that he would have some type of insight and some type of option that would be the immediate guy that you'd be able to bring in right away, but no. And I think the Knicks getting denied permission of all these candidates, it's getting a little bit blown out of proportion in terms of it being such a big deal. Like, oh, the Knicks are a laughingstock all over again. Every team saying no. I mean, all this is Leon Rose doing his due diligence. There's nothing wrong with having a request. It's free. He's asking these teams, hey, you never know. What if one organization's like, yeah, you know what? We're actually thinking of making a change. Why don't you talk to our guy? You never know. So for Leon Rose and the Knicks to request to interview guys like Jason Kidd, Billy Donovan, Ime Udoka, Finch, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Now, I think they're going to go searching for guys that are former head coaches that are not employed. That seems like the most realistic route. Mike Brown, Johnny Bryant, apparently, and Mike Malone are not at the top of the list, according to Ian Begley of SNY. Mike Woodson's name got mentioned as a wild card option. I mean, Mark Jackson's name is getting talked about. There's a lot of names still to break down. And I feel like the wide net approach of Leon Rose is smart. And I also want to say this. I don't think the Mavericks saying no to the Knicks is the nail in the coffin of the Knicks potentially getting him, because there needs to be some type of pressure. There needs to be some type of, and I'm not saying it's happening. It's a long shot here, but the Knicks requesting permission is the first step. The Mavericks, of course, are going to say no. But what the next step could be, if this works in the Knicks' favor, is if, and I'm going to emphasize if, Jason Kidd and his camp, they go up to ownership of Dallas, they talk to them, and they say, hey, the Knicks are interested in me. I actually would rather go to the Knicks. If that happens, then we're talking. But that does not seem to be the scenario at all. That's just the only case where either Jason Kidd or any of these other coaches that the Knicks are requesting to interview, that's the only way that can happen. Now, when it comes to the rumors that the Knicks are involved in with this player, that player, yesterday we had some breaking NBA-related news to Kevin Durant now being available. And that is definitely something to note here. Now, Kevin Durant is expected to be traded away from the Phoenix Suns, and the New York Knicks were one of the teams that was on the list of Kevin Durant's potential destinations. I still think it's a long shot for the Knicks to land Kevin Durant. There was a report that came out today that really did not have much substance about the Knicks being a realistic destination for Kevin Durant. But we've seen crazy things in the NBA. We've seen reporters get things wrong time and time again. So knowing Leon Rose, knowing the Knicks' connection to KD, I do think it is still on the table. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to pound the table for it as a Knicks fan. Go get Kevin Durant by any cause. We need him. No, that's not where I'm at. I'm in a state with this Knicks franchise where I feel like this roster is good enough to contend. The way it's constructed, with some fine tweaks off the bench, with some additions off the bench, with the proper coach. I still believe in this roster the way it is. But we have to talk about these big fish. We have to talk about maybe the Knicks are making a big swing, okay? Because the head coaching search is one thing, but the personnel is another. And going back to the coaches real quick, the coaching search for Leon Rose, there's a world where the Knicks go into free agency and they go into the draft and not even fill in that spot yet, because there doesn't really necessarily have to be a rush. And that's my point. There doesn't have to be a rush by the Knicks to find their head coach. I think they're going to take their time. At one point, I thought, oh, okay, we're going to get our next head coach right away because Leon Rose knows. But no, this is going to be a wide net search. We're going to probably start seeing the guys that bring it in to interview, and then we're going to get a clear idea. But I'm going to push back on this narrative. The Knicks are now a joke, and everyone's laughing at us. Charles Barkley laughing at us on national television. The Knicks are incompetent. Listen, I understand why it would look like that on the surface, but if you dig deep into a head coaching search, I'm sorry, what is wrong with requesting permission to interview guys? That does not mean there's no plan. That just means we don't know what the plan is. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know Leon Rose personally, and it seems like he's very tight-lipped. He doesn't talk to the media ever. He doesn't want the whole NBA world to know what he's got up his sleeve. And I bet you he has something up his sleeve that nobody sees. And that's not me defending him. That's just me understanding who Leon Rose is and what he's about, what he's been about since he came here to be the Knicks president. I think that you talk about Leon Rose and his ability to have the proper connections that always have a plan. I still believe that Leon Rose is going to get the right man in charge. Okay, and you guys should too. There's no reason not to believe it. Do you guys agree with me in the chat? Let me know. Do you agree with what I'm saying about Leon Rose, or am I hyping him up too much? Because I'm someone that just I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt from the perspective of he's built this team up to where it is now. So I'm going to give him a shot to prove himself. All right, I'm going to give him a shot to prove himself before I just start panicking and start filling into the narrative that everybody has about the Knicks that, oh, we're incompetent all over again. Everyone's laughing at us because everyone's saying no. Now, it is an interesting thing. It's definitely interesting to see the approach here, but there's nothing wrong with what Leon Rose is doing. Until I see what he's got cooked up and what coach he starts bringing into interview, I am not going to be complaining just yet. Now, let's talk about some guys, some head coaches that the Knicks can bring in, right? There's a lot. There's a lot. Now, there's one guy in particular that has been linked to the Knicks recently. He is a former head coach that is available, and that's Mike Brown. Okay? Mike Brown, I think if there was somebody that is not currently a coach that fits the bill, I think Mike Brown could be a potential option for the New York Knicks. You guys let me know, how would you feel about Mike Brown? I definitely think that this is an actual possibility of the Knicks going after Mike Brown. You guys let me know if you agree or disagree with that in the chat right now. Please feel free to let me know. I think Mike Brown is an intriguing head coach, right? I think that another one is Taylor Jenkins, another former head coach. You know that the Knicks are going to go after former head coaches, right? Yeah, that's an obvious one, okay? We all know that a former head coach is going to be a target, but maybe there's some assistants, right? I've heard a name, Sam Cassell, is a guy that some people believe is destined to be a head coach, that he deserves an opportunity, NBA champion, right? He's the assistant. I think that Sam Cassell is an intriguing name. I've heard some people connect the Knicks to him, right? So as a suggestion, it's not like he's linked to the job or there's actual substance around it. But I think if you want to talk about some candidates that are worthy of becoming a head coach, I think Sam Cassell's name should be up there. I think that's an interesting one that you got to consider. And I'm sure the Knicks are making all these calls, and they're going to be very intrigued on all of these guys. Like Sam Cassell, longtime assistant, NBA champion, former player. I mean, he has all the doings of becoming a head coach in this league. Right? So we'll see. We shall see about that. All right? Cassell. All right? Sam Cassell. Now, you look at what this Knicks team is doing with the wide net of searches. There's probably some coaches that nobody is talking about that Leon Rose is going to start interviewing as well. Who that may be, I don't know. You guys let me know. Are there names out there that you feel like Leon Rose got this guy up his sleeve and we're just not seeing it yet? Is there any candidates that we're missing? Any dark horse? Any guy that you feel like is available as an assistant or as a head coach? Or maybe you still believe in the philosophy that the Knicks could lure away one of these coaches from an already organized team. Jason Kidd is still a pipe dream. I mean, he is my number one. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You guys let me know, because there's obviously varying opinions around Knicks fans about which coach they prefer. And it's really going to come down to who fits the mindset, because there's a lot of pressure now. And this is another thing, man. There's a lot of pressure on this Knicks team. And you know who else has pressure on them, in my opinion, outside of Leon Rose? The players. Because there's a report that came out that the players were the ones that wanted Thibodeau gone. So if Thibodeau leaves and the players start regressing, like, they got to play at their A game. Especially if they don't break up this roster. If Cat returns and we got OG still with Bridges, like, there's a lot of pieces that most likely is going to return. Because let's be honest, folks, the most likely scenario is the Knicks do not make a monumental trade. They make some pieces off the bench, and we get a new head coach and we run it back with the same starting five and the same bench with some fine tweaks. Because the only pending free agents that the Knicks have are Precious Achiuwa, Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne. No one really that was super impactful. But let's be honest, the Knicks just accomplished something for the first time in a long time, and Knicks fans are starving now. Now we have a taste of what championship caliber basketball is like, having 2 wins, being shy of the NBA Finals. Now we actually have a taste of what it's like to be successful. Now we are even more hungry as a fan base. And I'm sure Jim Dolan and Leon Rose know, like, wow, we are so close. They can taste the championship. They can taste being a legit contender every single season. They have to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals now next year at a bare minimum. Otherwise, the season will be looked at as a failure, right? The Boston Celtics, they just won the championship last year. They lose in round 2. Their season is a failure. Cleveland Cavaliers, their past season, they were the first seed in the East, had a fantastic regular season. They get bounced in round 2. Their season was an ultimate failure. So even if the Knicks next year are the 1 seed, the best team in the league, best record, and then they lose in round 2 or something like that, it's all going to be about playoff success. Which coach are the Knicks going to go after? Now let's talk about Mike Malone. Mike Malone apparently is not on the Knicks list of top candidates, according to Ian Begley. Now that definitely surprises me, because you would think that Mike Malone, his tie, I mean, right when Tom Thibodeau got fired, I think every single person assumed that Mike Malone was going to be at the top of the candidate list. And if the Knicks really want to do a wide net search and they don't interview Mike Malone, be very curious as to why. I'm not going to sit here and say he's an absolute monster and we have to make sure we go get him at all costs. He obviously got let go for a reason, but he's an NBA champion, recent champion. And he has ties to New York, born and raised in Queens. I trust his basketball mind. I know some people feel like that's not really improving because some people say he's another version of Thibodeau, where he's stubborn, likes to play old players more often than not, likes to play them a lot of minutes, and the Knicks are trying to move off of that mindset, go younger, right? That's what a lot of people are saying. But, hey, bro, if we need someone that's proven that you don't have to worry about any hiccups, then Mike Malone is the guy that the Knicks should consider. Now, a Knick favorite that a lot of Knicks fans have been linking to the job for this Knicks team at head coach, that apparently the Knicks are not super interested in him being the next Knicks head coach, And some people really want him. I would absolutely love him. I've talked about him multiple times on my channel, that's for sure. And that's Mr. Johnny Bryant. Johnny Bryant apparently is not on the top of the Knicks list, and this is per SNY's Ian Begley. And he is the most plugged into the Knicks you can possibly be. He's the one that broke the news that Tom Thibodeau was fired. So I don't know. Maybe they don't think Johnny Bryant's ready. I think this was more like Knicks fans' belief in him than anything. Maybe he is ready, but he just got to get that opportunity. Does not seem like the Knicks are interested in him as of now. Things can change. Things can absolutely change when this is fluid, man. This is fluid. Absolutely fluid. And with the Phoenix Suns, right, they hire their head coach, Jordan Ott, from Cleveland's assistant. I mean, I don't know. I thought that would be the potential spot for Johnny Bryant to go to. You never know. Now, I wanted to highlight something. Tom Thibodeau, he wrote a whole thank you letter to the Knicks. And I think this is something that us Knicks fans all deserve to appreciate a little bit here. Okay? Now, if you're a Knicks fan and you went through the Tom Thibodeau era, I really do believe that you definitely should read what Tom Thibodeau had to say, because he's a big part of this team. He still is. I think that Tom Thibodeau, man, and if you guys watch my content throughout the journey, because I started my channel like right when Tibbs was hired, actually. So my whole channel, my whole content creation journey with the Knicks is attached to Tibbs. He says, thank you to the best city in the world with the best fans in the world. Thank you. When I was hired in 2020, I said this was my dream job. I am grateful that dream became a reality. Thank you to our players and coaching staff who gave everything they had, and to everyone who makes this franchise special. I am proud of everything we accomplished together, including 4 playoff appearances and this year's run to the Eastern Conference Finals, our first in 25 years. And to the fans, thank you for believing in me and embracing me from day one. Watching you support our team and seeing the Garden ignite with that incomparable Knicks energy is something I will never forget. With gratitude and respect, Tom Thibodeau. Listen, man, like, Tibbs deserves some respect, bro. Like, if you're a Knicks fan and you're just like, yeah, screw Tibbs, gone, bye. Like, I feel like, I really hope it doesn't get to this, but some Knicks fans, I think, took Tibbs for granted and blamed him for everything. This guy brought this Knicks franchise to new heights, and now he's gone. And I'm just a little concerned, because I'm not going to fault the Knicks for making the move, because we got to wait and see. And I also feel like Tibbs, as good as he was, there does feel like we got the most out of Tibbs. Like, I don't know if there was another level of Thibodeau that if you gave him another season that they could have got over the hump based off of another season of all the minutes that he was playing. And it seemed like the players were the ones that was sick of Tibbs. They wanted to get rid of him. Was it Cat? I don't know. Was it OG? I don't know who it was. Bridges? But I think a big thing about Thibodeau that everybody talked about is running his players into the dirt, into the ground. All those minutes is going to break down this team. And maybe that did break them down in the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe that's why they laid an egg. I mean, the Pacers beat us with their speed. I mean, they're doing it again with the Thunder. Maybe the Pacers are just better than we all anticipated, because they are 2 wins away from winning the championship. That's crazy. The Indiana Pacers are really going to win the chip. It's not over yet. The Thunder can easily tie the series up 2-2 and win the series and be NBA champions. But wow. You never know. You never know who could be an NBA champion next. Now, I want to ask you guys a question right now. What's your thoughts of Mr. Karl Anthony Towns? Because this is another guy that is really interesting to me. The narrative amongst Knicks fans. Do you guys want him gone? Are you guys over Cat? Because it feels like a lot of Knicks fans are just ready to trade him. Gone. They want him gone. I mean, this guy is under contract for another 4 seasons with a lot of money. 3 seasons, I believe, with a lot of money. $50 million around per year. So he's linked to the Knicks. We don't have to worry about extending him. We don't have to worry about his contract. He's not going to hit free agency. He's a Knick for the next 3 seasons, unless the Knicks trade him away, obviously. Do you guys think a new coach could get the most out of Cat offensively and defensively. Because I'm here to tell you, and I hope I'm not the only one that believes this. And I said it already, I'll say it again. I still believe the way that this roster is constructed with the 7 guys, the core 7, I'm going to call them. The core 7, which includes Jaylen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson. That core 7 guys are all under contract for next season. So there could be a level of continuity with those 7, with a brand new coach. And then the rest of the bench could either be Tyler Kolek, Bacom Daddier, Ariel Hukporti, Kevin McCullough, a rookie class from last year. That can be part of the depth, part of the rotation. And then you add some veterans in free agency. You add some guys like you did with Landry Shamet. Maybe you bring Landry Shamet back. I don't know. Maybe you bring in a few veterans to fill out the bench. I'm not someone that's going to be complaining about that if that's the case. If the Knicks run it back with the same exact roster, with a brand new head coach, like, I'm not going to be complaining. I still believe, like, what this Knicks team showed me is that they're capable of being NBA champions. They're capable of contending with the elite of the elite. With a whole season of experience playing with each other, going deep in the playoffs, I think that can be a monumental stepping stone to get over the hump next year. Now, the big wild card, of course, is who is going to be our head coach. Who's it going to be? I mean, that's a giant question. That's the big thing that everyone's wondering about. But, bro, I still believe in Jaylen Brunson. Like, Jaylen Brunson, I know that some people are a little upset with him and how he finished off. But come on, man. I got my full trust in Jaylen Brunson. Every year, he always improves. He always gets better. Okay? And as long as we got JB, I will always believe in this Knicks team to get over the hump. I will always believe that he is capable of carrying this Knicks team if he has to. He is someone that has absolutely changed my entire perspective of this Knicks team, man. He came here as a young player with an opportunity to prove who he is, and look what he's done with it, man. Look what he's done with it. And I feel like we're losing the appreciation element of Jaylen Brunson right now because we're lost in the sauce of everything else around it. I want to sit here and say thank you to Jaylen Brunson for everything that he's done and will continue to bring to this Knicks franchise, because that contract extension that he signed last summer has set this Knicks team up for success, been able to be flexible and acquire all this talent. And the way that this roster is constructed, I know that some people still hate on the Mikal Bridges trade. They want Bridges gone. What are your guys' thoughts on Mikal Bridges? That's a whole other debate. We talked about Cat. What about Mikal Bridges, man? Because a lot of people are pretty fed up with Bridges. And I think that, there's nothing wrong with being critical, right? We're fans. We're supposed to be hard on our players and hold them accountable. But can we not, can we stop acting like Bridges was an absolute bum? Because he wasn't. He made plays. And I think that he would tell you that he wasn't used properly. He doesn't feel like he was used to his full potential. And I mean, talk about an Iron Man. The guy did not miss a game. The guy played almost the most minutes in the league, didn't miss a one single game all season, keeps that streak alive. I know that he does it every year. I mean, the guy's an Iron Man. I got so much respect for Mikal Bridges. And maybe with a new coach, he can absolutely be a better basketball player. You never know. Do you guys want to trade him away? Right? So there's a lot of things. So there's apparently a report about the Knicks being interested in Taylor Jenkins. That's coming out. Taylor Jenkins, I think, is a very interesting candidate for this Knicks team. Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins are the two guys that I think the Knicks are going to interview first. Those are the two guys that have experience coaching in this league. So let's talk about Taylor Jenkins real quick. How would you guys feel about that? Taylor Jenkins is, first of all these coaches that are available, they're available for a reason in one perspective, but then you never know what a new opportunity can do for something, right? You never know what a new opportunity, what that can do. And I feel like he's got experience coaching up. He's got experience in this league, and I think that means something. I mean, he was fired by Memphis, and what has the Grizzlies done since? And I think like the firing of Taylor Jenkins came out of nowhere. Why did they even fire him? Right? When the Grizzlies fired him, why? That came out of nowhere. Right? Jenkins was the most successful coach in franchise history and fifth longest tenured coach in the NBA, and he guided the Grizzlies to a superb 44-29 record in fifth place in the West. And then he just gets fired. I mean, I don't know if there's like details that came out, the reasons before it, but why did he get fired? And it's not like the Grizzlies got any better when they fired him, right? So maybe that could be the potential coach of the New York Knicks. I would be interested. Absolutely. I think Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins have actual potential here with this Knicks team. So you guys let me know if you would welcome in a Taylor Jenkins hire or not, because it seems like that is where this Knicks team is headed right now. So you guys let me know. Seems like Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins are reportedly eyed seriously by the Knicks amid head coaching search. So those are the two guys that's linked to the Knicks the most. I think there's a wide net for a reason. The Knicks are going to be looking at a lot of different candidates, a lot of different guys. They're going to flip over every single stone because I think they all realize that this is a monumental moment in Knicks franchise history. This is an absolutely massive moment. The Knicks got to get this right. There's no excuse. They must get this right by hiring the right man for the job, because this Knicks team has a window. They have so much talent. They have everything they need. Now they're just missing a head coach. And I think Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins are the two guys that are available that seem to be most likely for this job. We'll see. There's a long way to go. I think that we're going to go deep into these next few weeks, all talking about this. You never know. What if the Knicks all of a sudden hear from Jason Kidd's camp, like, hey, we're actually interested. We're going to force the Mavericks to let you talk to us. Hey, well, I don't know. You never know what's possible in the NBA. The one thing about basketball, one thing about NBA is things can change. Things are fluid. Things just, you blink and all of a sudden one report doesn't make sense anymore, because that's what this sport is about. That's what makes the NBA so awesome. There's so much monumental change every single offseason. I think basketball, out of every sport, has the most like crazy trades and crazy things going on. And the NFL has it too. Baseball has it too. Every sport has it. But for some reason, the NBA, like that Luka Doncic trade, that's what I'm talking about. That sent shockwaves to the entire world that has any inkling of sports. So when even the Knicks traded for Cat, like that was wild. And I think Leon Rose is going to be aggressive for the guy he wants, and he's going to do his due diligence on Kevin Durant. He's going to do his due diligence on Giannis Antetokounmpo, like he definitely should with Giannis. Because if Giannis is available, the Knicks got to put all their eggs in the basket for him. I'm telling you that right now. I don't really have a lot of hope about Giannis. I don't. I'll be frank. I don't think Giannis will be a Knick, but hey, you never know. Why not us? Why not us? Wow. So the due diligence approach of getting denied is definitely taking storm. The whole NBA world is now laughing at the Knicks. People are at the NBA Finals laughing about the Knicks, talking about us. You got the Pat McAfee show live on ESPN. They're sitting there in Indiana talking about the New York Knicks still. The Knicks are the talk of the town. The Knicks run this league. I'm telling you that right now. So now the next step is to win an NBA championship. Let's hope whatever head coach the Knicks bring in will get that done. So, folks, let me know your thoughts in the comment section if you enjoyed the video. As always, let's go Knicks. Appreciate you guys tuning into this show, man. Much love to everybody in the chat. Much love to everybody tuning in into the chat. Yeah, the Giannis dream is dead. It feels like that. I know, but I'm not ready to lose hope on that. But much love to everybody in the chat. Love you guys. I'm out of here. As Knicks Media is going to wrap it up, I will let you know all the latest news right here on the channel. So do not forget to subscribe if you're new. With that, I'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. Peace out.